In 2025, electronic rap artist Nettspend created a video game. On the website, earlylifecrisis.com, is the original Early Life Crisis game. Start in the blue area, guide the red ball, through the maze, hold your finger down and drag towards the goal, but don't touch the walls. Turn up your sound. It is a game where you, a red dot, must get to the green square without touching the walls. After a few levels, you unlock something in your hard drive, a music video from Nettspend. This video game is promotional material for the album Early Life Crisis. The first music video is unlocked after 3 levels. 3 more levels, another music video. But this time it looks like a behind-the-scenes video. The third one is a clip of Nettspend with a crowd. 4th is a video of some guys in a parking lot throwing a football. 5th is a stroll along a waterfall. 6th is some studio time. 7th is a couple with a black and white filter. Also, this leaderboard is literally impossible. Teenage Blob Paperperson is more than just a video game. After selecting one of 11 languages, Team Laserbeam and the Super Weeks appear on screen. These teams created 6 songs and 6 games, and combined them to create this game. This version of the game, the demo, is the first song off of the album. So essentially, along with Superhot's involvement, this game is a playable music video. In this interactive experience, the purple houses want sandwiches, and the red houses, as well as the dogs, cannot afford it. The controls are pretty simple. At first, you just go diagonally as you throw burgers and avoid obstacles as a punk rock song plays, but then the perspective shifts out of nowhere. What is interactive media? Most people would assume the answer would be video games. But what about the media that you can interact with physically? SLUDGEBATH is a comic series created by my favorite Arsonist. Gal the Arsonist is a musician who has Volume 1 of his webtoon comic series SLUDGEBATH as a physical release. However, I'm broke right now, so while I can't afford the actual comic book, we are going to take a look at Volume 1 of SLUDGEBATH. Brimstone is Volume 1 of SLUDGEBATH. According to the SLUDGEBATH webtoon page, Gomorrah is built on tragedy, the city literally erected in the smoking crater of God's footprint. After the sheer force of the Perusia compressed millions of humans into fossil fuel, Vunau set up the coal mines immediately. Gao struggles against the brutal monotony of making ends meet when his life is plunged into chaos by a mysterious substance called sludge. In the wake of man-made atrocities and abominations beyond man, Gao, poorly, navigates finding community, purpose, and self-worth. Juice is Chapter 1 of Brimstone. We start with a very metal-styled logo. As distant ringings become closer, our main protagonist wakes up on the floor to an alarm clock, as well as screaming from outside. The windows then shut, and Gao consults his to-do list that is chiseled into the wall. He notices a spider in the ceiling fan and asks why he doesn't pay rent. This reminds him that he hasn't exercised in a while, a very relatable moment for myself. This panel is mostly the thoughts of our main protagonist, especially when he regrets spending all of his money on DoorDash, which then leads to 2 panels juxtaposing each other for comedic effect.
Self-awareness is an essential step on the path towards self-improvement,
he thinks, as he then eats his toast, yet is still not satisfied.
I deserve juice.
We end with a picture of the town of Gomorrah. This place is the largest coal mining and power generation city on Earth and is privately owned by Vunau. Death and Taxes is Chapter 2. As Gao enters the city, we get a blurb that echoes the main description from the webtoon page, but this time in the form of what appears to be a religious figure preaching with arms outstretched as if he himself is on a cross. Gao is listening to this man, or rather until he can say a word that actually reveals that the man is in his way of Gao going to the store, which is played for laughs. After limboing past, he spots what appears to be 2 children begging on the street. At this point in the story, it's very clear that the tone of this volume so far has been a comedy set in a post-apocalyptic society, which is an interesting juxtaposition, especially with how bleak the setting looks and feels. In a way, this comic is arguably a dark comedy, making light of otherwise tragic events. Well anyways, Gao gets stabbed by one of the kids as he is attempting to think about what to do, which is the first sight of actual color to this very bleak world. As he bleeds out, thinking it's the end, he wakes back up in front of the store, and the graffiti that said death and taxes, part of it is covered in blood. And now all that's left is taxes. At the end of these comics is some lore that helps build the environment. This time it's about the Eden Restorationism, an anti-tech religious movement. The Perugia was divine punishment for straying from God's path. Man, there's really been a theme with these videos lately, huh? Anyways, this movement believes that Gomorrah was built on sacred ground, so therefore it must be destroyed. We also get a clue that these information packets at the end are actually from the Vaunu company, stating how any alliance with Eden, even if it's merely with the fashion, will be excommunicated from Vaunu. End of day is chapter 3. Gao hops on a train, and immediately we get a commentary about how little the working class gets sick leave, and also healthcare benefits. It's revealed that Gao is a coal miner, but today that is not his job. However, first, an NDA must be signed, especially because Gao works for Vaunu. Not only that, but they are approaching Pilgrim territory, aka the Eden Restorationism group. Gifted to the workers are a single-shot pistol, where only a few ranking people are even allowed to hold this very gun. Well, one of these soldiers jokes about how there hasn't been an attack here in so long. Clearly, this train transports the Vaunu soldiers, but it also moves civilians and freight along with it. The little tagline underneath is pretty funny. What is this? Is chapter 4. As the Eden Restoration, aka the Pilgrims, aka the Fundamentalists... Oh no. At least their costumes look sick. Gao shoots one of the religious members, then, as if he was playing stick fight, he throws the gun at another member, dashing into the mine to hide, hoping he'll be paid for his time in the mine today. Then, out of nowhere, we get a really cool looking shot. After that, Gao trips on some sort of substance, wishing he had some juice. Outside the mine, the pilgrims converse, while ash rains from the sky. Then, we get a beat tag from one of the songs.
What is this sludge? Yes, it's sludge. What is this sludge? Yes, it's sludge. What is this sludge? Yes, it's sludge. What is this sludge? Yes, it's sludge.
Gao is now covered in sludge as he goes to the store to buy what I assume to be juice. According to the very last panel, promethanol is a vicious black substance with various reality warping qualities first discovered in the underground mines of Gomorrah. Stained glass is the epilogue of Brimstone, and the aftermath of the train is Dalston, Mackenzie, and Miss Haskell. Oh, and Maxwell, apparently. One of the hardest images I've seen in this comic so far is here, and it is revealed that Haskell is maybe more than human. Meanwhile, Gao doesn't know how to control his sludge. Synths are mentioned in the epilogue, so this part ends with an explanation of what synths are. Essentially, they are machines that use sludge to manipulate its abilities. Wait a minute. A liminal space dimension? This is literally what I asked for in the last video. How did this comic know that this is what I've been looking for?